Hi there, this is Krisha Young here. Welcome to this video. What I wanted to talk about today was a question that I got from somebody in my community, and it is actually quite relevant at this time. So, pardon me. So the date of the recording of this video is April 2nd, 2020. And right now we are about, I think, 3 weeks in here in Canada, at least, into social distancing, and a lot of shops and stores and stuff being closed down. And also a lot of people who normally work in offices and outside of the house are now in the house, and they're just like, what the actual what? So we're a couple weeks into this now, and I think a lot of people are getting into a new rhythm. At first, it was a lot of fun. It was like, oh, yay, I'm at home. And now it's like the realities of running, your job from home is interesting. So I'm an entrepreneur, and I quit my corporate job back in 2015. And I remember at the time, after working in corporate my whole entire working life up to that point, I was like, it took me almost a year. It took me almost a whole entire year to not feel as if I was playing some sort of hooky when I wasn't like working. And I mean, that was the whole point of starting my own business in a way. I mean, there was lots of other reasons to start my own business, but one of them was so that I wasn't chained to a desk all day long, right? And chained in a cubicle. And so the freedom of not having that was something that was so delicious and a big part of, entrepreneurship for me. And yet it took me over a year to not feel as if like, I'm going to get in trouble if I'm not sitting at my desk, like from 8 until 4, right? Like I was so deeply conditioned in that, that it was very, very uncomfortable if I left and I deviated from that routine. And so what tends to happen is, when we're working from home, if we're not used to it and we don't set up any kind of boundary around it, then the day can end up being like a really super long day, and you don't start to delineate your time between what's personal and what is business. And so you might find yourself, and this I actually do remember now, when I was working in corporate and I would work from home years ago, there were days like I would get up at like my normal time, so maybe around 6:30 or 7, and because I didn't have to shower, I didn't have to commute, I didn't have to do any of that stuff, I just went straight to my computer and I'd be working, and then I wouldn't move pretty much all day until like 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And I worked for a company that was across Canada. So in the east here in Toronto, we were starting at 7 in the morning. And then of course, Vancouver was still like, the West Coast was still going. So there was like no end to my day in a way. And I found myself working like all day long. This was like 12, 15 years ago, and I didn't have any of the tools that I'm going to be teaching you. And then when I got into entrepreneurship, I just shared with you, it was like there was all this conditioning around, I can't like leave my desk. Like, there was a lot of conditioning around it. And I brought a lot of bad habits from corporate into my day-to-day working. So what I want to share with you here is, and the question was, I'd love some tips on how to be more productive / deviating time for work and personal time. So this is something that, depending on where you're at with all of this, it's time for you to start getting really intentional. Who knows how much longer this is going to last, even if it only lasts another 2 weeks, let's say. You want to get more intentional and conscious with how you're showing up. And this is true for every element, every area of your entire life. So if you're asking this question, this is wonderful, because this is where you can start, right? So let's just start here. Let's start being more conscious and intentional of how we want our day to look. We aren't tethered really. We have more freedom than we think we have. And so what I would encourage you to do is look at your actual day and really be realistic. Like, do you have to be on your computer? Like, did I have to be on my computer from 7:30 in the morning until 9 or 10 at night? No. That was a choice I made because I was conditioned and wanted to show willing and wanted to be available. I actually technically did not have to. I wasn't getting paid for that. That's for sure. Not that I'm of that mindset, but I wasn't. And that was something that I made a conscious decision to do, and it burned me out. It burned me out. I had adrenal fatigue. I was burnt out. I gained 60 pounds. Like, it was not a good way to work. And so if you're finding yourself in those kind of habits, realize this is the truth, right? And it can be sometimes hard to hear, but you're choosing that. And it might not feel like you have a choice. And I know where I was working before, it didn't really feel like I had a choice because there was sort of like this silent expectation that you would work like that. But it was a choice at the end of the day. And I could have pushed back. I could have said, I'm going to start my day at 9. I'm not going to start my day at 7, right? That was a choice I had made. And I'm going to go home at 7. I'm not going to work until 10 o'clock, right? Like, those were choices that I had made to not create those boundaries for myself, because I was coming from a place of people pleasing and wanting to show that I'm a team player and all of that kind of stuff. And really, at the end of the day, all it did was just make me a burnt out, stressed out ball of self-hate and it wasn't good. So I don't want that for you. So now that we have this opportunity for a switch in routine, what I would invite you to do is take a look at what is the actual expectations of you. And chances are you can probably get your job done in like 3 hours. Why we have 8-hour work days is beyond me anyway. I've always thought that was ridiculous. But you could probably get your work done in like 3 or 4 hours, be super, super productive in that time, and then let go of it for the rest of the day. Now, this is all going to be dependent on your employer and the setup that you have and all of that kind of stuff. But that is how you can really start to delineate between your personal and your business, right? So the other suggestion I would say is set yourself up with an actual office, even if that is your dining room table. Okay. Just make it your office. So that's what I've done here in my condo, right? I have a 1-bedroom condo. I don't have a den or an office or a separate space or anything like that. I don't need it. I'm fine. I've been doing this for so long now that I'm able to shut off when I need to. Okay. So I've got my office set up in the dining room table, and then the rest of the house has no work in it anywhere, right? So my living room table over here just has some books. Maybe I might, sit on the sofa and meditate or read, or sometimes on occasion, maybe watch TV. The bedroom has nothing in it, like just my books and stuff. That's where I meditate. That's, where bedroom things happen. My kitchen is for eating, right? So you want to make sure that you are keeping your spaces in your house delineated in that way, that you are looking at what is actual productive time for you during your day, so that you're not bleeding into all the other personal parts of your day. And then the other thing I would really suggest is setting yourself up with some routines. I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday, and he was like, I'm really loving, he was realizing that he wasn't adding in routines of personal self-care behind the scenes, and it was affecting the front line of his business, right? This is why it's really, really, really critical for us as leaders, for entrepreneurs and professional people, to make sure that you're looking at who you're being behind the scenes, because it is really going to have a massive impact on the front facing of what it is that you're doing. And I think you know this already. So anyway, he was noticing that. And what he did is he started to set up some routines for himself. So I love rituals. I love routines in that kind of way. And also, you bring in the feminine flow in that. So what does that mean? And this is true for men and women, right? So what does the feminine flow mean? So if we're looking at routines like a 5 a.m. club, right? Like there's this idea that you do all these things, 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of workout, 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of that between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And that sounds so stressful to me. And I know to a lot of people that I work with, my clients and stuff, something like that is way too regimented. That is very, very masculine energy. And for a lot of people, it doesn't feel good, because especially people who value freedom. So my people value freedom. It is one of the top values. So something like that is like, I know I should be doing it, but it doesn't feel good, right? So this is where the feminine comes in. And the feminine is an energy. It's not a woman-man thing. It's an energy. So the feminine means that you have your set of rituals and routines that you do, but they're fluid and they're flexible. And you do, as long as you do them at some point in the day, it doesn't matter, right? So set yourself up for some personal routines throughout the day that allow you to be able to remember that you're a human. You're not a machine. You're not like, you don't need to just stay focused in this desk 24/7, right? Like you can take a break, move your body, put some music on, dance, pleasure yourself, go for a walk if you're able to, do some jumping jacks, go cook yourself something, go nourish yourself in some sort of way, shape, or form. Meditate, go and have a meditation, right? Go have a shower. There's so many beautiful things that you can do to give yourself a little bit of a break. If you have pets, play with your pets. A lot of people are at home with kids right now. So that's a whole other different video of routine. Play with your kids, tickle them, talk to them, like do something nice and squishy with them, and have that flow throughout your day. So it's a lot of this is about like being so tuned in with how you're feeling, and not just like be so checked out and unconscious of what's coming up for you in your body, so that oh wow, like I'm really feeling drained right now, like holy cow, like I'm tired and I can't function at the moment. And okay, that's low blood sugar. That is probably just like a fatigue from being on a screen all day long. Maybe you didn't sleep well the night before, right? Like these are all signs your body is talking to you, right? And what a lot of my clients do before they start working with me is they push through that. They push through that and they keep working. And all that does is lead to burn out. Okay. So don't do that. Don't get into those bad habits. Listen to your body. And if you're starting to feel like that, now it's time for you to take a break. Even if your schedule doesn't say break, take a break. You need it. Your body needs it. And you will feel much more energized, much more efficient. You'll come back and you'll be 100 times more productive. You're not going to be productive if you keep allowing yourself to drain and empty out that battery and not create that fluid delineation between personal and business. So that's my take on it. Having done this for so long and work with so many people in this space, and myself being an entrepreneur, like it really is a matter of like just having a lot of flexibility and a lot of flow, letting go of the voice in your head that's telling you're not working enough, you're not doing enough, you got to be regimented and all that kind of stuff. Realizing like how much productive time do you actually need in the day, and setting up a specific workspace for you, hopefully one that you can close a door on. And if not, just make a conscious decision, like you're done for the day, right? Like when I feel I'm done for the day, I'm done. I don't go, oh, maybe I should. No. And that could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now I run my own business, so that's different. Or it can be like 10 o'clock at night. Like it depends on how I'm feeling and if I'm getting energized from the work I'm doing, or if I'm being drained from the work. Okay. So just take all of this, apply what you can with where you are at, and just remember, you are in control. You are in control. So don't let anybody else tell you how long you should or shouldn't be working, all that kind of stuff. Set up those boundaries for yourself so that you don't end up burning out on the other side, because burnout is not fun, and it is, you know, it takes a while to recover from, right? If you're already there, then you want to grab my Calm in Your Chaos guide. I've got a lot of, it's a really comprehensive toolkit for anybody who is experiencing those symptoms. And I teach, like I tell you how, what to look for and what to do about it. And of course, this is how I support my clients as well. So I'm happy to support you in any way that you need it right now. So, you know, this is a good thing, I think, you know, like it's a great shift in routine. And, you know, it's teaching people how to operate and how to work in a new way, right? So find your own rhythm in this, find your own balance in that. And I think that and remember that those negative voices, just don't let them rule your day. Don't let them dictate your day. And, you know, really be unapologetic about your boundaries and your time. And it's a conscious decision. This is a conscious decision. You're in control of this. There's nobody else that's in control of this except you. So you can make a conscious decision on how you're going to go through your day, whether this lasts another couple of weeks or another several months, whatever. It's up to you how you're going to be experiencing that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, watching this video. Hope you found it informative. I got tons more, so go ahead, browse all the different playlists that are here, and you can check out my website, KrishaYoung.com, to see how I can support you now or in the future. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email, Krisha@KrishaYoung.com, so that I can do a video like this. I love questions. Or you can add a question in the comments below, wherever this is posted. If you're getting it in an email, hit reply, whatever. I love your questions, and I would be more than happy to respond to them. Thank you so much. Bye for now.